Hey, did you know your thoughts have the power to shape your reality? Yeah, it's wild, but true. In this video, we're going to break down how what you think can either lift you up or hold you back, and it all starts in your mind. If you've ever felt stuck or like things just don't go your way, you're not alone. But here's the kicker. You can change it. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to take control of your thoughts and start creating the life you actually want. Let's dive in.
Often, society teaches us to believe that actions shape our reality. Of course, they are important, but there is something that acts before that, something that is the foundation of everything we do, our thoughts. Imagine the mind is like a garden. What you plant there will grow, whether it's a beautiful flower or a weed. Now think of your thoughts as those seeds. Each time you repeat a thought in your mind, whether positive or negative, it's like watering that plant, helping it grow stronger and stronger. And eventually, it shapes the way you see the world. And more than that, it shapes how the world reacts to you. The most interesting thing is that we often don't realize we are watering the weeds. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, this will never work for me, things always go wrong, are powerful forms of self-sabotage. And the more we repeat these thoughts, the more they take root in our minds, transforming our reality in ways we don't even understand. But here's the good news. Just as negative thoughts can shape an unwanted reality, positive thoughts can transform your life for the better. It all starts with awareness. The first step is to become aware of the thoughts you have daily. Often, we are in a cycle of unconscious, repetitive thoughts, and this shapes how we feel, how we act, and even what we attract into our lives. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have a job interview tomorrow. You spend the day before thinking, I'm never chosen, or they'll probably prefer someone else. You're already building a reality in which this interview won't go well. Your thoughts create an energy field around you that influences how you behave and how others react to you. If, on the other hand, you train your mind to think, I'm capable, I have everything it takes to get this job, you begin to shape a reality in which the chances of success are much higher. Point is not just to be optimistic, but to create a mindset that opens doors. Our thoughts carry an energy that is transmitted to the universe, and the universe responds to that energy. This is not just an abstract idea. It is based on principles that quantum physics and neuroscience are increasingly exploring. When you think something frequently, you create neurological connections in your brain. And these connections become stronger the more you use them. It's like creating a trail in the forest. The more you walk the path, the more visible it becomes, and the easier it is to travel. And that path will become your automatic route, your reality. What you need to understand is that most people live on autopilot, without realizing the thought patterns that are guiding their lives. You may feel trapped in a cycle of events that seem to happen in the same way over and over. What happens is that your thoughts are creating these repeated situations. But just as it's possible to change a trail in the forest, you can reprogram your mind to create new realities. Have you ever heard of high-performance athletes who use visualization to improve their results? They don't just train their bodies, but also their minds. A marathon runner, for example, repeatedly visualizes their perfect race, sees themselves crossing the finish line, feeling victorious. And interestingly, this mental training has a direct impact on their physical results. This happens because the brain doesn't distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. To it, what you think is what exists. Now imagine the impact of this on your daily life. If you start visualizing your success, feeling the emotions of achievement, genuinely believing that you are capable of reaching any goal you desire, this creates a tangible change. Your thoughts create new connections in the brain and eventually shape your actions and, of course, your results. But what about those thoughts that are not under our conscious control? Here lies the difference between conscious and unconscious thought. The conscious ones are those you notice, the deliberate choices you make. Unconscious thoughts are the most treacherous because they operate in the background, shaping your reality without you realizing it. And, unfortunately, it's in these unconscious thoughts that many of us are stuck. To break this cycle, you need to bring these thoughts into the conscious. How do we do this? First step is to pay attention to your emotions. Emotions are clear signals of what kind of thought is passing through your mind. If you're feeling anxious, frustrated, or demotivated, it's a sign that your thoughts are going in the wrong direction. The secret is to stop, identify these thoughts, and question them. Ask yourself, does this thought really reflect the reality I want to create? Here's an example. Suppose you are dealing with a work project and feel like you won't be able to meet the deadline. The automatic thought might be something like, I always leave everything to the last minute, I'll never finish on time. But if you stop and consciously change that thought to something like, I am capable of organizing my time and successfully completing this task, you will notice that the anxiety decreases and your mind starts working toward the solution instead of being stuck on the problem. This practice of reprogramming your thoughts doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and, more importantly, it takes practice. The human mind is powerful but also lazy. It will try to revert to old habits. And this is where the importance of creating a routine of mental strengthening comes in. There are several ways to do this, but one of the most effective is to use positive affirmation. Affirmations are simple, powerful statements that you repeat to yourself, creating new mental trails. Things like, I am deserving, I attract abundance, I am capable of achieving any goal. At first, it may seem strange, or even artificial. The more you repeat them, the more your brain accepts these ideas as true. And as I mentioned before, your brain doesn't distinguish between the real and the imagined. It simply follows the path you build for. However, just repeating these affirmations without believing in them won't bring the results you desire. You need to feel these words. When you affirm, I am capable, feel what it's like to be capable. Imagine yourself achieving that goal. Experience the emotions of success. The stronger you feel, the more impact these affirmations will have on your subconscious. It's like planting a seed and watering it with positive feelings, allowing it to grow and flourish. Another key point is to be aware of the thoughts you nurture throughout the day. Most people don't pay attention to this. And this is where the weeds start to grow. Limiting and negative thoughts are like pests in the garden of the mind. And if you're not careful, they can take over everything, choking out the healthy plants. Vigilance is required. When you notice a negative thought, like, I never succeed, or this is too hard for me, replace it with something positive and constructive. You might be wondering, but what do I do when these negative thoughts feel so real? The key is not to fight them, but to replace them gradually. Think of it like changing the channel on TV. You don't have to fight with the program that's on. Just switch to something you enjoy more. The same goes for your thoughts. When a negative thought arises, shift your attention to something that uplifts you, something that inspires confidence and motivation. Now that you understand the power of thoughts and how they shape your reality, it's time to act. Remember, your thoughts are your seeds. If you want to see flowers, you need to plant the right seeds. And it's not enough just to plant. You need to water, nurture, and protect that mental garden. And when you do that, when you consciously choose the thoughts you nurture, you'll start to notice that your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined possible. So, the next time you catch yourself thinking something negative or limiting, stop and ask yourself, is this the garden I want to cultivate? If the answer is no, you know what to do.